Hi everyone, it's Polly here from Beaten Jeans, and today I'm going to show you how to make collard green wraps. We're going to start by chopping up a bunch of veggies. I like to use celery in my wraps because celery is a natural salt and it brings out all the flavors of the other vegetables you're going to use. Be sure that you cut them into nice little thin strips. Make sure that you cut up all your veggies the same length. Right here I'm cutting up cucumber, and I'm cutting them just the same thickness as I did the celery. I love using cucumber because it's so hydrating, crisp, and refreshing. I love using carrots in my wraps because they provide a little bit of sweet to the wrap. They're also really crunchy and they don't tend to get soggy. Make sure you cut them the same length and thickness as you did the celery and the cucumber. We all know that carrots help with eyesight, but did you know that red bell peppers do too? Red bell peppers are full of vitamin C, B6, and folate, and they are so good when added to a collard wrap. If you follow us on Instagram, you know that I am totally obsessed with onions, especially purple onions. I love the spice and the kick that they add to the wrap, so it is a definite must to add these in my opinion. Of course, would it even be a wrap without cilantro? I also cut up some purple cabbage, which I don't show, but I do add that to my wrap as well. And then I had this sprouts that I had just freshly sprouted, and I'm gonna add those to the wrap also. You can pick those up at the store or you can sprout them yourself, but I think they're a great addition. Using a grain in your wrap makes it more of a complete meal. Make sure that you rinse it thoroughly before cooking. I always use a veggie broth or a better than bouillon just to flavor it up. When it's done cooking, just set it aside until you're ready to use it in your wraps. So first and foremost, you want to pick up about 3 to 4 bundles of collard greens from your grocery store or farmer's market. I was able to find 3 bundles of organic today. I tried to buy the organic, especially for the greens, because the high amount of pesticides that are used on them. But you want to go through your bundles, and right here I'm looking at the small ones and I'm telling you that you should not use those, and then the ones that have the tears in them also are not good for the wraps. So when you buy them, try to see if they have big leaves, because the bigger the leaves, the better, the more pliable your wrap is going to be. You're going to be able to fill it more with the goodies. I did not have luck today at the grocery store finding good bundles, so I'm having to weed out a bunch of it. But no worries, because I can use these in my smoothies, I can make salads, I can steam up, ooh, that one's a really good one. I can steam them up like spinach and use them as a side. Collard greens are full of nutrients, including vitamin K, which helps with blood clotting. And actually vitamin K is better for your bone health than even calcium. Another thing about collard greens, they have a compound in them that help to eliminate cancer cells from growing in your body, which is a win-win for us because that is our mission here at Beaten Jeans. So after you're done going through all your leaves, go ahead and rinse them off and wash them, and then we will move on to the next step. Okay, so I have my area all prepared. I have my collard greens here all washed and ready to go. I have a bowl with ice in it, and I also have a large pan with boiling water and a bunch of dry cloths that I will use to just dry off the collard wraps after we are done with this blanching process. All right, so you're gonna grab your collard greens, and with a pair of tongs, you are going to place them in the boiling water. Just long enough for that bright green color to appear. That's probably just about good. You're gonna then dip it into the ice water just to stop the blanching process, and then dry it with the dish towel. So I've got another collard green here. I have a stem that needs to be cut off here on the end. I'm just gonna cut that off. And then I'm gonna place this in the hot boiling water over here. I'm gonna allow that to blanch just for a couple seconds, flipping it over until it becomes a nice bright green color. And then I'm gonna place it in the cold ice bath. to stop the blanching. Place it on the towel. Drying that off. This step is completely optional, but I recommend it. You have all of your collard greens that have been blanched here, a cutting board, and a plate to set your collard greens on. You also need a very, very, very sharp paring knife, and if it is not sharp, I highly recommend that you sharpen it. I have this little sharpening block that my mom gave me for Christmas a couple years ago that comes in handy on times that I need it, and this is a perfect opportunity. Trust me, you need a very, very sharp knife for this. We're gonna do this by taking our sharp paring knife and bringing it along the edge of the rib and just slicing ever so gently to remove that thick rib. If you need to do it a little bit more down here, just keep in mind that the thinner that you have this rib, the easier it will be to fold up your wrap. And that one looks pretty good. But you only need to do it on the one side. Now I'm gonna move this one over to the plate and move on to my next collard green. This is one of the small ones, so the rib is not as thick. Just ever so slightly, making caution not to cut into the collard green, just slicing off the thickness of that rib. And moving on to my next. So again, this one kind of has a few holes in it. It might get kind of tricky when it comes time to do the wrap, but we'll make it work. It's big enough to where we can fold the edges in on it. But again, we're just taking the paring knife, going along the rib, making sure not to cut hole into the wrap. Everything here, all my veggies, my quinoa, my collard greens, and I'm gonna put them in a Tupperware just to keep them handy for when I want to eat them. It keeps them nice and crisp in here. I put the lid on, stick it in the refrigerator, and I can have it for a snack, lunch, or even on the go in the car. So you're gonna want to start on the top quarter portion, putting everything in just one small area. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of quinoa here, a few carrots, a couple cucumbers, a couple stalks of celery, some bell pepper, a couple onion. My avocado got sliced pretty thick, so I'm just gonna make that a little smaller. Little splash of cilantro, a few cabbage, and a few of my little sprouts. Now, to roll it up, you want to try and make it kind of tight. So as you're rolling, then you're going to take these edges and kind of try and tuck them in, keeping it nice and tight. And tight, like a burrito. And there you have it, your nice little wrap. And it will stay stuck together like that, nice and compact. I'm gonna go ahead and put it inside of my Tupperware, grab another one, and move on. I packaged all of the leftover scraps up and put them in a Ziploc bag and use them in a salad for later that week. Okay, so now it's time to make the dipping sauce. So I've got some garlic here, some chili pepper flakes, a tablespoon of fresh lime juice, 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos. You can use soy sauce if you so desire. I prefer the coconut aminos. I've got 2 tablespoons of agave syrup. You could use maple syrup or 2 tablespoons of sugar also if you prefer. A 1/4 cup of water and a 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Just a side note, I am in love with this peanut butter from Costco. It only has 2 ingredients, which consists of dry roasted organic peanuts and sea salt. We are a family of peanut butter eaters, and this by far is the best peanut butter that we have found. So we're gonna go ahead and put all the ingredients into the jar, and then we're gonna blend it on up. I suggest only using 1 tablespoon of water at a time and then blending and then adding another tablespoon of water and blending until you achieve the perfect consistency. I prematurely added the entire 1/4 cup of water and ended up having to add more peanut butter. But anyway, it turned out amazing. The taste is so flavorful. It is so creamy. It is so good. I cannot wait for you guys to try this. I had so much fun bringing this recipe to you guys today. If you guys make them, let us know how you like them. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram for daily vegan inspiration. And that's a wrap.